Hey guys, welcome back. Now this is mango season and the best mangoes you can ever get are Alfonso mangoes, which are the king of mangoes, which I'm going to use in this recipe. This is baked mango cake. It's a very simple recipe, it requires just very few ingredients, but what you get at the end result is a great product which you can enjoy warm or even at cold temperature. So let me show you how. The base for the dish is chenna. Now chenna is basically curdled milk. So when you split the milk with some kind of a vinegar or lemon juice, the fat separates from the water and what you get is the thick milk white particles. Now that is strained off and you get a milk product called as the chenna, which is used for plenty of Indian sweet dishes. It is also used to make paneer. So when you press chenna down and you leave it hanging or between two heavy weights, the water is taken away and you get a block of paneer. Now I have got fresh chenna. The recipe I have shown earlier in one of my video tutorials. So the chenna is basically crumbled up. Now if you don't have chenna and you don't have paneer, what you can use is probably ricotta. But then you got to make sure you hang the ricotta into a cheesecloth and let all the water be removed and it becomes quite thick and dry. You can also use ready-made paneer. You can also crumble that down. Even that works well. Now into this chenna, I'm going to add sugar. So I've got grain sugar here. You can use castor sugar also if you want. And you mix that up. Just want to make sure that the sugar mixes quite well with the chenna. And as you keep mixing it, what happens is the sugar begins to melt and your mixture becomes a little wet. So you want it to be like a wet texture. In this, I am going to add cardamom powder. I'm going to add mango puree. Now I've got Alfonso mango puree. It is fresh Alfonso, peeled, diced up, put into blender and blitzed together to get a very nice thick paste. You can add a little water if you like. Alternatively, you can also buy mango puree in a can, which works equally well. I'll reserve some for the garnish at the last. And I'm going to mix this together that it becomes into kind of a moist, crumbly mixture. The mixture is now ready. You can see it's got a flowing kind of a texture, and that's what you want. You want it to be nice and moist. Now if I bake this as it is now, it will not set. It will get very runny. I need to add something in this which is going to hold it together, and that is actually semolina. So I've got fine semolina here. So you pour in the semolina. Now semolina, when you add it to the wet mixture, it begins to absorb all the water, and as it absorbs all the water, and when it cooks, it holds it, it gives it body. You don't need to add too much, just enough, almost a tablespoon and a half, just to bind it together right now. Into this, I'm also going to add cashew nut. Now I do love to have the nice kind of a crunch of the nuts and the bite to come through because of a very soft texture. So I'm going to add a generous amount of broken cashew nut, mix that in. So when you actually eat, you get the nice soft texture of the milk cake and you also get the nuts, which gives it a contrast. I'm also going to add diced mango. So I've got Alfonso mango here. I'm going to add the cubes and keep some for the garnish. Now as this cooks, the mangoes also cooks, they release their own juices into the mixture. It adds more flavor. It also gives a little bite. And you can see the mixture has now slightly thickened. There. That's perfect. I'm going to now transfer this mixture into greased ramekin bowls or greased bowls. So I've got these beautiful white ramekin bowls and these have been greased with oil. You can also put ghee, or if you want to put butter, you can also do that. Now because of the greasing of the molds, when the cake cooks in the oven, when it's cooked, it demolds quite easily because the oil becomes more like a non-stick effect. it makes the cake loose in the ramekin bowl. So here we go. I'm going to press that down just to make sure there's a good amount of filling for the cake. And tap it gently to remove the air pockets. A little more. Now this is going to go into a preheated oven at 180 degrees centigrade or 350 degrees Fahrenheit for approximately 30 to 35 minutes till the exterior gets nice and golden. Our baked mango cake is now ready, and if you remember, I had greased my ramekin bowls quite well. Now because I greased it so well, the cake mixture has left the sides, so literally become like a non-stick. But again, for precautionary method, you have to move your knife around it. But first I'm going to push my tip of a knife into the cake, and you see that it comes out nice and clean, which tells me that the cake is cooked. Now with the tip of my knife, I basically go around the cake and I begin to loosen it slightly. Just want to make it loose the sides and from the bottom at the same time. So I've got one. Let's have a look to see if it actually demolds or not. So fingers crossed. There you go. You see that? It's nice and golden or caramelized on the exterior. It's quite nice in color. So okay, we got one. Let's try a second one. So again, pierce it, and you see the cake, the knife comes out nice and clean. Now again, with the tip of your knife, loosen the cake. If you do it when the cake is very warm, it will tend to break straight away. Let it cool down, it becomes slightly firm and it's much easier, and it molds quite well. This one is a bit delicate, so let us see. We'll loosen the sides and fingers crossed. Let's have a flip one more time. Again, loosen the sides and there we are. Look at that. It's nice and clean. So my cakes are ready. It's now time to dress up my plate. So I've got a plate which has got slightly contrast in color. I'm going to spread a little mango puree, slightly thinned down onto the plate. And I'm going to demold my baked mango cake and put it in the center. Wow, it's still quite soft. Spoon a little bit of the Alfonso mango puree on top of my cake, and then I've got ice cream to go on top. So there goes my ice cream. Garnish that with some mango cubes, and lastly some edible flour. So there you have it, my simple, easy to do at home baked mango milk cake. So make sure you try it for your friends and family, and do not forget to tag me. So until next time, happy cooking.